State and local officials are facing increasing demands from the Trump administration to fulfill campaign promises regarding immigration. CBS News Homeland Security correspondent Nicole Sganga sat down with 4 sheriffs from across the U.S. for a reality check on the White House directive.
When you knock on doors in your community, do you ask someone what their status is?
No, I don't.
When that 911 call comes in, we don't care what your status is. We spent years trying to build trust with these communities so that they know we don't care about your status. We want to make sure you have justice.
Are you concerned that the next 4 years are going to undermine that trust in law enforcement?
Absolutely. They're going to be terrified. We see it now. We get phone calls, right? Folks are saying, are you going to be coming for our family members?
Let's go live now to Nicole Sganga for more on this compelling interview. Nicole, tell us more about how the sheriffs are reacting to Trump's asks here.
Yeah, the overwhelming feeling among these sheriffs is they're being asked to do more with less. And the big ask from the White House right now, more boots on the ground and more detention space. ICE is funded to detain a daily average at max of 41,500 migrants. But the agency currently has about 40,000 detainees, and it's looking for sheriffs for more prison beds and manpower. That near unanimous feeling from the sheriffs I spoke with is that they're already at capacity. Sheriff Candy Fothery, she's from Ohio. She told me her jail has been filled since the 1990s, and it's filled with violent criminals, those accused of murder, rape, arson, and domestic violence, plus a large population of mentally ill individuals. If asked to take on more detainees with civil immigration offenses, individuals whose only offense here is being here illegally, what happens to those who are currently behind bars? There's also the challenge of manpower, and Sheriff Benny Martinez's community sits right along the border, Brooks County. He has 5 deputies on the ground covering 944 square miles of ranch lands. He's already overwhelmed, and the president of the National Sheriff's Association told me every sheriff in his organization, and there are more than 3,000, is facing some kind of recruitment or retention challenge. Then you heard it there, there's the concern that if local law enforcement assists in making these immigration arrests, it may come at the cost of sheriffs and deputies losing some of that trust they've built up in their communities.
Spoke directly to the White House border czar about all of this. What specifically is his pitch to these sheriffs, and what is the Department of Homeland Security doing to find more detention bed space? Yeah, well, they've certainly been previewing, opening up some detention space at Guantanamo Bay. But what the White House border czar Tom Homan told me in our interview over the weekend is that top immigration officials are specifically working to expand what's called the 287G program. And they met as recently as last week on this. It's a post-9/11 program that sets up contracts, literal contracts, between sheriffs and police departments nationwide and ICE. And it allows local law enforcement to join immigration task forces and to detain non-citizens in their jails and prisons. There are currently 135 sheriffs and police departments part of that program, most of them in places like Florida and Texas. So I asked Tom Homan, what's the goal? He told me he wants all 3,000 plus sheriffs signed up by the end of this year. But the challenge here, finding ways to compensate local law enforcement who say they're already cash strapped and resource poor without detention beds to spare. But I also asked the White House border czar what happens if a sheriff wants to help apprehend migrants with a criminal record, a criminal arrest warrant, but says they don't have the bandwidth to go after undocumented individuals with no other offensive. In other words, undocumented migrants whose only offense is being here illegally in the U.S. Homan did tell me he would work individually with each sheriff, but ICE is not shying away from making those collateral arrests, unlike the last administration. Yeah, and Nicole, the Justice Department is also saying that they could prosecute officials who resist Trump's immigration agenda. They put out a memo about this. How are the sheriffs reacting to that threatening directive?
I asked the sheriffs that exact question. Take a listen to what one sheriff had to say. The first week of this administration, the Department of Justice put out a memo calling on U.S. attorneys to investigate and potentially prosecute state and local officials who do not cooperate with stepped up
immigration enforcement measures.
You can't bully me to break the law, okay? And you can't threaten me with prosecution. I am going to do everything I can to operate within the law and be helpful. However, I'm not crossing the line.
That was Sheriff Gabe Morgan. He's been the sheriff of Newport News, Virginia for nearly 2 decades. He told me his state has specific laws about how long he can detain an undocumented migrant for ICE. And while he wants to help federal agents get those with criminal charges off the street, he's not willing to break the law. Now, I should note that all of the sheriffs here did express a real sympathy with administration officials, including the president, when they call out violent crime, drug trafficking, cartel violence, especially along the northern and southern borders. And those are real issues in the country, according to these sheriffs. But they also told me that public safety threats, not individuals in the country illegally, are their #1 priority to their constituents in their communities, and that the federal government should understand their needs, their limitations as sheriffs, if they're also asking for their help, Liz.
Yeah, they've been put in a very difficult position there. Nicole Sganga, thank you so much.